What's up, Gear Mortals? Trey Xavier here. Today I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of version 1.5 of the Xdrummer app from Positive Grid. I'm going to walk you through all the different features of the app, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a demo on how it works. I'm currently running Xdrummer on my iPad mini 2, running iOS 11. So what the heck is Xdrummer? The Xdrummer app allows you to play a groove on your guitar into your iPad or iOS device, and it comes up with drum grooves for you and allows you to put together songs based on what you played. The whole idea behind the app is getting you drum grooves as fast as possible without having to do almost anything other than playing the guitar. The app is basically an intelligent drummer that adapts what it's playing to what you play. The app is extremely useful for any guitarist looking for something to write songs with or to jam to. There are a couple of ways that you can create a drum track using Xdrummer extremely quickly. The first way that I'm going to show you is by using Xdrummer's browser feature, which has all of the grooves listed by genre and by song structure, for instance, verse, chorus, bridge, etc. If you already have a pretty good idea of like the song's tempo, the style, all of that, you can just go right in here and drag and drop different grooves into the song editor and build a song from scratch. So let's check out a couple of these grooves here. Let's go to the funk grooves. A couple like different feels here. So from there we can pick a funk groove that we like. Then we have each of the different song sections listed out that are within this groove, and you can add them to the song editor very easily, either by hitting the plus sign, which just adds it right to the beginning, or you can drag and drop, just put your finger on it for a second, and then you can just drop it in anywhere in the song that you like. You can mix and match grooves from any of these packs, any genre, anything you like, just drag and drop it into the song editor, and you can put together a song that's as crazy or as simple as you want it to be. So now I've added a funk intro and a funk verse. So now I'm just gonna select the rock genre, and then this one looks pretty sweet. Let's check out what we got in here. Now we'll get a rock chorus. And of course, this is all going to be in the tempo that's set down below. If I want to change that tempo, let's say that this is too fast for me, I can either tap to find the tempo that I'm looking for, or you can just tap it in like this using the up and down arrows. Let's set it at about 100 and see how that feels. You can use the typical Apple pinch and zoom controls to zoom in and out. If you want to get closer in to edit your clips a little bit. If you want to move around or shorten one of the sections, you just tap on it, and that allows you to edit or move it. If you have a section and you just want it to go twice, hit the duplicate button, and it just drops in a second one right after it. If you want to delete a section, you can just tap on it to select it, and then you hit the delete button. Here's one feature that I like a lot for either practicing the same section a bunch of times in a row, or just getting one section on a loop so that you can hear it over and over again. And that is you hit the loop button. That allows you to set a loop of any length. You can just grab the end of the loop and drag it out or in to set a loop however long you want it to go, and then it'll just play the same section over and over again. That's especially handy if all you want is a real simple drum groove that just goes on forever. The drum grooves are not 100% set in stone. There is a fine-tune feature. If you select the drum groove and then hit the fine-tune button, you get some more options to mess with the way that the drum grooves sound. There's a feature called the intensity settings that allows you to change the intensity of how the drummer is playing. As you can see, we've got 5 different options for that. Original, which is just how they played it, mellow, straightforward, intense, and explosive. So now I'll show you how it changes the sound of the grooves as they're playing. Check it out. So this is the original. We change it to mellow. Kind of goes to a closed hi-hat with a side stick type of sound. Straightforward. Kind of simplifies it a little bit. Intense. Goes to the ride bell in this particular mode. And then explosive. So this has opened up the hi-hat and made it a little bit louder and rings out a little bit more. So Xdrummer is going to save that for you, and then you can have that in that section only. And then, for instance, if you wanted to have the next section with a different intensity setting, you could just do that and it'll remember that within the song editor. Within the fine-tuning window, you can also change the articulations of each instrument and how they're hit. You can see that on the screen are highlighted the different instruments that are being hit in this drum groove. We've got the tom, snare, hi-hats, and the crash. So each one of them has this little arrow that allows you to choose which part of the drum is being hit. For instance, on the cymbal, we've got the edge or bell options and opening hit, which is whether or not it hits that one for the first hit of the groove. And then let's see, if we go over to the snare, we can have a rim shot or a center hit or just a rim click, which is like a side stick type of sound. Same thing with the hi-hat here, closed, a quarter open, half open, or all the way open, which will give you a couple of very different types of sounds. Another cool feature that allows you to customize the groove even further is this counting mode. What that allows you to do is to customize the number of times that the drummer is going to be hitting the hi-hat or the ride in each measure. So here we've got original, 4, 8, or 16. So original is, of course, just whatever the groove was originally doing. So in a lot of these grooves, they're doing something maybe a little bit more fancy or complicated on the hi-hat. This allows you to just make it straightforward, 4, 8, or 16 even hits on it per measure. Let's check that out. So this is the original groove. Some like slightly fancy hi-hat stuff in there. So then if we click over to just 4, then we just have quarter notes straight ahead on the hi-hat. Now if we go to 8, doubles it up to eighth notes. Then if we wanted to get a little more active, we go to 16. So that allows you to customize the hell out of each of these drum grooves. For this song that I'm kind of putting together for this little demo, I want the hi-hat to be pretty much wide open for this. I want the snare to be a rim shot, a really powerful hit, and the cymbal is going to be an edge hit for a nice big washy crash sound. So that's going to sound like this. Pretty straightforward, but nice and powerful for the sort of more rock sound that I want for the chorus of this, as opposed to the sort of slinkier funk thing with some clean guitars that's going to go in the beginning. All right, so here's a quick song that I threw together just for this purpose. I've engaged the inter-app audio feature on this, which allows me to run bias effects simultaneously and hear the sounds from bias effects in Xdrummer. So now I've got this nice juicy guitar tone running through Xdrummer. I can record into Xdrummer and I can hear the guitar. I'm going to cover how to use the inter-app audio in the next section. Now I'm going to show you how to use possibly the coolest feature of the whole app, which is play to find mode. What the play to find feature does is it takes something that you've played and it listens to it and it generates drums based on what you've played, which is pretty cool. The first thing we need to do is pick the genre of music that we're going to play. I'm going to pick metal and then I'm going to play in my little metal groove. That's pretty cool. It totally came up with a groove that fit the thing that I played pretty much perfectly. Not only am I not a drummer, there's only one of me, so I can't play guitar and drums at the same time, so Xdrummer basically does it for you. So what that's done now is given us several different sections of a song to just drag into the song editor, all of which match and fit together. I'll just go ahead and grab the intro, drop it in there at the beginning, take my verse part, drop the chorus where the chorus goes, create a second verse, and then I'm going to pinch it so that it gets smaller. So just that easy. I've got the whole song laid out in the song editor. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge, double chorus, and an ending. All I did was drag and drop each of those sections in, and that gives us the whole song layout in the format that I want. And then of course, if I go through and I record it and I feel like something needs to be changed, it's really easy. Just stretch something out, delete something. Super easy to do. Now to make the song a little bit more interesting and dynamic, for instance, we've got this double chorus at the end here. Let's say I want to make the first one of those two just a little bit different. So you might, for instance, want to have the first chorus be super mellow, side sticky, kind of low key, strum some acoustic guitar chords over it, and then maybe when the second chorus hits, we want to go to explosive mode, open up the hi-hat, hit it a little bit harder, all that, and it'll just give it something different about the first chorus to the second chorus. Once you're done composing and recording your song, all you gotta do is go to the project button, and then you can go ahead and hit the export. Then we're presented with 4 different options for exporting. You can export the drum track just as pure MIDI, and then you can import it into your DAW later. You can export the drum track as an audio track. You can export the audio that you recorded as audio, or you can export the whole song as a full mix audio mix. Let's take a look at a couple of the different drum kits that you can use to get different sounds within your grooves. There are 7 stock drum kits within XDrummer: cocktail, country, funk, metal, pop rock, studio, and vintage. Here's a brief sampling of some of the different kits we've got. These are the standard presets. So it's really easy and quick to audition a bunch of different drum kit sounds in XDrummer so that you can pick which one fits the song that you're writing the best. A quick and easy way to pick out the drum kit that you need is to hit play on the song editor and then pick the different drum kits so you can audition them in real time along with your song. There are some really in-depth drum sound editing features that you can use within each drum kit by hitting the 3 little dots. And as you can see, there's a gear icon on each piece of the drum kit that allows you to edit different things about it. You can change the pitch, the volume, attack, and which instrument you're using. So we've got a couple different ride sounds here, for instance, 20-inch ride, 80s rock ride, modern effects ride. You can pick any of those. You can pitch it up and down, and you can make it louder, softer, and have a more percussive or less percussive attack. For each drum, you can change out which kind of drum you're using. For instance, let's say I want to use this rock maple drum for the snare instead. You can pick which kind of snare head you're using. Maybe I want to change it out for a clear double pinstripe kind of a thing. Damping. Now we can use a damping ring on the snare drum so that it doesn't ring out quite as long, so it's a little tighter of a sound. We've got a dampening gel, a control ring, or dampening ring. Let's go for the dampening ring for right now. And then of course we can change the volume, just like the cymbals, the volume, attack, and the pitch if I decide that it's too low, for instance. I can set the pitch a little bit higher to give it a little more crack, a little bit lower to give it a little more body. Pretty cool. If you want to hear each piece of the kit, you can also just tap on it like you're the drummer. So in this way, we're able to dial in our kit to our exact specifications for the sound that we need for the song that we're writing. Now I want to talk to you about the inter-app audio function, which allows you to get sounds from outside of the XDrummer app into XDrummer. The inter-app audio function is extraordinarily important to the XDrummer app because XDrummer doesn't have any guitar sounds built in. So you have to use something like bias effects or bias amp in order to get guitar tones into XDrummer. So we're just going to go ahead and hit the IAA button, and we're going to use bias effects. Just go ahead and tap on it, and that's going to add it to the inter-app audio. So we've got this preset loaded up in bias effects. A nice sort of rock tone, a little AC/DC-esque. And then we pop right back over into XDrummer, and as you can see, now we are getting sound into XDrummer. So that means that now we're ready to record along to our drum track using bias effects, but recording into XDrummer. Check it out. So now we're just going to export that so that I can listen to it later, do the full mix as an audio track. So we've got a couple options for output, 16 or 24-bit, 44 or 48K, WAV, AIFF, M4A, MP3, or FLAC file. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as a WAV, and then we're going to export. And then it does its thing. Xdrummer is like having a buddy to jam with, a songwriting partner, and a practice tool all in one. It's intuitive and easy to navigate, and with a little bit of practice, you can quickly generate drum tracks for your songs. For more information and to download the Xdrummer app, head over to positivegrid.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button for more reviews and original content, and I will see you real soon.